I never got a drive-through. He got a drive-through. What the hell? Shit, I'm in the lead. But that's honestly my first time ever leading a race. Holy shit. I'm already drenched. But oh boy, that's a good lap. We're dipping into the 29 pace. And now into the pits, guys. Let's hope for the best. Not perfect, I think. Yes, losing 3 seconds there. Or even 5 seconds. Whew. Alright everyone, good evening. Welcome to tonight's livery workshop. Smooth chit-chat, me working in Photoshop and you watching and asking questions. What can be better at this beautiful evening? And we already have some people in chat. Hey Jason, hey Pete. Nice to see you. And we have somebody also in here that you cannot see, who is absolutely invisible, but you should hopefully hear him fine. So if there is anything wrong with the noise levels, with the audio, or you can't understand anything, please just let me know. But give a very, very warm welcome to Mr. Dan Terry from ACCSS.
Hello, you alright?
Hey Dan, thank you for joining me and thanks for giving me the opportunity to do a really cool live stream for our collaboration all around custom liveries.
Ah, that's alright. I think it's good. Like I said, it was good time to sort of collaborate, especially with like bringing custom liveries into ACCSS. We might as well teach some of our guys how to make them. Not hopefully as good as you, to steal your part of your livelihood away, but to give them some sort of tips on how to make their own. And just good to get involved really across all the community.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, not as good as me. I'm not perfect. I'm not the master. I mean, I honestly I learned a lot while doing it. I mostly just, you know, got Photoshop and just started doing it, and that kind of just launched the channel as it is right now. But what it is so cool to see for me actually is that it seems to have inspired so many people to actually take up the tools that they maybe have never worked with and get into it for themselves and, like, you know, try it out and see where they can go. So that's one really cool thing actually for me to see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's very similar to that sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing as what we're doing at ACCSS when it comes to like, the sort of racing. It's just no pressure on anybody. It's just for them to sort of try their hand at it, and then hopefully get better and better, and then push themselves on to bigger and better things, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the next exciting news is actually that we get the 2020 DLC, and there will be 2 new cars in there, and that just means for us the long wait begins until somebody leaks the wireframes again.
It's like GT4 season all over again.
Exactly, I just can see myself right now just googling every day and seeing if anybody leaked it already, or I don't know who it will be this time. For you know, I'm actually at that point where I'm just thinking, I mean, come on, Kunos, just get it over with and just share them. I mean,
yeah. It's public information now. There's no point holding on to certain ones. Like,
yeah,
just give it everything. Let the creativity juices flow with some of the guys like yourself and others that are into that. And just experiment at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, but maybe, who knows, maybe it happens. I don't know. Let's see. I hope they just release it probably next week. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I guess everybody's hyped for that. So, tonight I prepared already a little livery because I'm just so in love with the Bentley right now, and I discovered the design because I'm keeping an eye on the Super GT. And I discovered this design from AP Racing, or however they are called. They kind of combine it with with an anime that is pretty popular in the scene from Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't know if you're into anime, Dan, or you know anything about that.
I know absolutely zero to do with anime. We had this conversation the other day in one of our like sort of moderated chats.
Yeah.
It's like, why do all the conversation always turns into anime? And I'm like, I do that. They could be talking they could literally be talking in Japanese, and I'd probably understand it better.
I also probably know only a tiny fraction of it. I just read Dragon Ball and saw some Gundam episodes, if that tells anyone in chat anything. But yeah, I just watched all the episodes and movies of Evangelion and just saw this Super GT car, and I thought like, I gave it a try a few weeks back on the Bentley in the in-game design, and I thought like, purple and green actually fits the car really nice. Yeah. And it actually does really look really cool, and it offers so much space to get creative. With many of the GT3 or GT4 cars we have in the game, they always have openings for like a ventilation or whatever, and so many different things that you can't really get creative. But the Bentley is just huge enough space.
Yeah, exactly. There's loads of space to play around with on the Bentley, so especially there's as much working space as you can possibly get. Yeah,
just go crazy. We already have some people in chat. Anthony is here, Flu is here. Hey, how are you doing? The layout, Pete, the layout of the wireframes will be in similar position. I think so as well. It might be with the new GT3 Evo, with the Evo Mercedes and the Evo Ferrari. Maybe we get lucky. I think with the AMG, just a little bit of the front is kind of changing. But let's see. Definitely the first day that the DLC will be coming out, I'll give it a try. And just put on one of my old liveries and see where the position is, and maybe we can work around that, so that will be cool. Jason is also here. Hey, Alistair is also here. Cool. You're not late, we just started. Would love to see Rothman's Honda livery. We have to keep that in mind then, maybe for our next stream.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is the design I'm aiming for. I'm starting to work on this today. I'm not sure if I can find all the logos and if it will be totally like a full replica like this one. I just use it more like an inspiration because I love the colors. And what I want to do today is again to just take you all through the steps. So if there's any questions from you in chat, please definitely do not hesitate. Ask anything that comes to your mind regarding maybe the tools, Photoshop, what I use, how to put them in game, and everything that comes to my mind, and also everything that comes to your mind regarding racing leagues, regarding ACC, and the cool stuff that Dan Terry and his crew from ACCSS are coming up with. So he's also here to answer your questions and entertain you a little bit.
Yeah. Entertain is the optimum word.
We just got an idea by Recon in chat. He says a possible idea would be to check out the Endurance Championship car liveries.
Yeah, so I've got all of them on the computer. We'll see how far we get through this, but if not, we can always do it another time.
Yeah, exactly. Are we actually showing them off tomorrow, the guys on stream? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think Gareth, who's going to be the broadcaster and host for tomorrow night, has tested all of them that are tested with one or two of the drivers we had issues with on Wednesday night on the stream we did for like the rules test, because we had a few issues there with a few like JSONs clashing in the ACC folders, and so we had a few issues there, but I think they've fixed them now, so hopefully we should have them all in game for tomorrow night's stream.
Cool. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon as well.
Okay, tomorrow afternoon. So wishing my life away. I forget that we're going to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, for me it's 3 o'clock, but yeah, it will be interesting. Usually it's always in the evenings, so that's something new. And I'm just actually really biting myself in the rear that I didn't sign up for it, because now I would have actually a bit of time for endurance racing.
Yeah, but now you've got time to hone the skills as a commentator.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe we get lucky with the reserve list at SimGrid. I don't know.
Yeah, we are on the list. I've checked. We are on the list. We are. Well, at least us 3 are on the reserve list.
Is it just 3 of us, right?
No, I've asked him to confirm if it's free. It's a long story short for those that are in chat. We tried qualifying for the SimGrid's Endurance Cup, and we thought, we've got a chance at least to get into sort of maybe the last split. turns out everyone's an alien over there. And I mean, the top 100 were what were all in 1 minute 33 around Mazzano, which to put in comparison is you got into the 135s, didn't you? And our like, pro driver along with Stefan was in the 135s, and then there was me and Chris, our other teammate, that was stuck in 136s. So we were like well out of the qualification order. But yeah, we're on the reserve list. I've asked him if it's just us three, or we can either add a fourth, or our fourth can be allowed to drive. So
okay, cool. So let's see. Oh, Jonathan Schungel is also here. Hey, thanks for joining in.
So now he is a secret big livery designer. I've seen some of his work.
Yeah, he just says that the Mercedes is a really, let's call it tricky, the German word kacke, or tricky shitty to design. Japanese clothing company, yeah, I think Ape or I have no idea how you kind of say that, but yeah, they are a Japanese clothing company. I think they even drive an Audi R8 in the Super GT. The Super GT is amazing. Hey, our PNT, Ashley Bloomfield. Ashley Bloomfield says he's the greatest livery designer.
Oh, see, it's weird because Jonathan's typed that message in German. It doesn't come up on your YouTube. Oh, hang on. Live chat. There we go. I was set to top chat, so it wouldn't show me everything.
Yeah. That's one tricky thing.
See, there's another thing where you'll notice is I haven't done YouTube streaming. I don't know all the little quirks of it. We literally stick to Twitch.
Well, last time in the YouTube chat we had stupid lags. Like every minute the picture just froze for like a second, and I was totally mind blown because it was not on my side. And then I just found out that YouTube was struggling on that night. So. So we get some people at Kwama 72. Hey, from the Netherlands. Awesome. Greetings to the Netherlands. I hope the weather is okay. Flu91 says they are split 4. Ray Birch. I'm the most patriotic livery designer, but not the best, I guess. That's the thing then. The lag was bad all around that day. Yeah, so just to show you again the inspiration for tonight, and I really want to say it's an inspiration because I'm pretty sure that I won't do everything like it's here one-to-one. I just want to take the livery and make it as close as possible to the idea that's behind this one, and I should probably get started at some point because otherwise I won't finish anything tonight.
That message of it'll just be a couple of hours will turn into a few hours, which to be fair I'm fine with, but yeah, it's whatever we get.
Yeah.
Now I just realised, right, first piece of advice, always save your work, because I saved over a stream overlay, because in the background of this I'm doing the stream overlays for season 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
And turns out I've saved over the stream countdown one, so I'm gonna have to make that from scratch.
Oh boy. So there we are actually then at the first important tip that I want to give is that no matter in which graphic program you work, either it's Photoshop or I think one of the free to use alternatives, it's called like Photopea. So if you guys don't have Photoshop and GIMP is not your thing and you don't want to buy anything, I think it's Photopea. Just give this one a try. It's basically a free Photoshop clone. And what I always do is I create a new layer for well, basically for every color I do, and I rename it if it's either decals or sponsors. And why I do that is actually because sometimes it turns out that I don't like a color or it's kind of wrong. For example, when I do a camouflage livery and I have like a dark green and a medium green and a light green and a very light green, I have 4 different layers, and if I don't like the dark green, I can just, you know, double click and replace the whole color with just one click. And when I did that, the deliveries I did in the beginning were basically all in like 1 or 2 layers, and then like last week I wanted to change my Bentley camouflage livery and I couldn't do that in an easy way because the camouflage was all in 1 layer, so I have to redo the whole livery from scratch.
I don't know how easy it is for you to bring something up on your stream, but if not, then you can see it for comedic purposes. Don't laugh at my file structure. I know exactly where everything is. It's awfully organised. It's in a private message to you on Discord, but it's awfully organised, but I know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, exactly. Pete is also giving some cool tips like use layers, make backup files, and never commit to a change you have not seen in the sim. Yeah. MediaBang is also a good free alternative. Oh, cool, Chris. Thank you very much for sharing. Name your layers as well. Yeah, never call them like layer 114 or unnamed or unknown. So that's why everything that goes into the decals, I basically name decals, and everything that then goes into sponsors, I name sponsors. So that's basically the plan, but you know, it can always change.
See, all mine are named rectangles. that was what I sent you anyway as my file structure, because obviously the overlay for one of the overlays for the countdown,
like rectangle 1, rectangle 2.
Rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 17 rectangles on the page, but I know which rectangle is which.
Awesome.
Because obviously when Steve was around, he helped me get to the get us up to standard. Or his sort of standards with the stream quality. And he was like, "Can you send me the Photoshop document?" I was like, "Yeah, but as long as you don't laugh." He was like, "What am I going to laugh at?" I sent it to him, and he nearly literally sacked me off there and then.
Oh boy.
He was like, "Why is everything named rectangle?" I was like, "I know what rectangle's what."
Yeah, exactly. You know, but the other guys don't. That's brilliant. So I'm gonna just start coloring over there and see how that overlaps, because one part there is like, I want to get one half of that greenish, and the funny thing is always to kind of align across multiple and different parts. It's always tricky. So what I'm using there is always this, Photoshop calls it Polygonal Lasso tool, and what that allows you is it just allows you to draw different shapes and then just color it in the way you need it. Chris tried a Triakis themed livery for the Camaro GT4. Oh, MediaBank is not great at cutting out things. Okay, so yeah, Photopea I think is the name. Just checked it out. I heard it's like a free Photoshop clone. So
I think someone mentioned, was it Get Paint with PSD as well? Someone mentioned. Or
oh yeah,
PSD plugin for that.
Get Paint with PSD plugin. There's a PSD plugin. That sounds cool. So Get Paint is also a free alternative. Cool. Thanks for sharing, Pete.
So, you know, the issue we have to for ACCSS, we have to use Photoshop because we use we use a lot of the Adobe fonts in our work. So like obviously, well, you have to use Photoshop. We have to have some sort of Adobe software because otherwise we can't access the fonts.
Yeah, of course. Right.
I'm disturbing your flow by chat talk.
No, that's okay.
So mid-flow, right? I saw something on your Twitter which I'm interested about. How did you paint the two things in the you can see they're already purple and green in your single bed. How did you paint the things in the you know what I mean?
Behind the grill?
Yeah, behind the grill, that's the one.
That's really cool. I have to give all the credit to I don't want to call her Padawan or students, because she's like her name is Denise. She raced in the Female Racer series from SimGrid. And she is her own creative company, and she's doing a lot of cool liveries. And she has done the Bentley recently, and I saw on her livery that she has these cool things here on the grill, also behind the grill and also on the bottoms. And I just asked her like, I couldn't find those parts. I mean, the Bentley has so many different parts as you see in the PSD right now, and I never actually really bothered with experimenting what they are. And she then showed me that actually this one part here, this big one here, is basically the lower part below the grill. Okay. And then here on top you have this green part, and then the small green flanks here, and also these two small wings down here. And you also have this one on top. So this green one on top is directly the one behind the grill, the green thingy here. And the purple one is down there. This one's the purple one actually. This one. And then you have also these wings here, and they are then on the lower grill part.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, where you come from.
And that's the same one like here. Yeah.
It makes sense when you find them, but like obviously due to Italian game design, it's not obvious.
Yeah, there's actually a part in the middle of the huge grill that you can also color, and that's this one on top here, I think, and this one there. And the funny thing is you can't really see it. I mean, you see it with the green and purple here, that it somehow shimmers with like a dark gray or whatever. But when you're on track and the sun shines from like up front into the Bentley, you can really clearly see everything in there. And that makes it kind of look really, really cool. That's some unique twist, and that just actually reminded me to you know, start to experiment more. You have so many different parts there in a livery. For example, these two huge wing parts here are the downside parts of the rear diffuser, and you can color them like crazy or put even stickers on it, like if you can read these you're way too close or something like that. So that's really unique with the Bentley. There are so many different small things. And the easiest way actually, because sometimes I just get asked how do you identify parts, is in the first thing you could actually make the whole picture just like pink or like a really bright color and save that as a sponsor's PNG, because that's like the top layer, and then you go in game, and yes, it will look nasty, but it will show you a lot of parts that you usually would not see, and they would totally stick out to you, but then begins actually the adventure of finding out what the part is. And you can do that by just, you know, kind of trying to look at the different shapes and trying to guess if that's the part, and then you just draw a number on it, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you keep doing that with as many parts as you want, and then load the livery again, and then you see in the game the numbers on the parts. And this is actually...
I remember doing that. I think I made an out, like the very... I think going way back when, watching your original GT3 video. I remember using that to do an Audi, and I was like, yeah, doing the exact same thing of what you just said there. Is just paint a few parts, different colours, and then load into the game and just see where those colours are.
Yeah.
And you can work out where those parts are.
Hey Badstang, I was in the Brandsatch 90 minutes race on Simracing with you. Yes, that was a very exciting race. My teammate did much better than I did. Camaro GT4. Oof. Pete is hoping to share a numbered and colored set of wireframes soon from the templates. Oh, that sounds interesting. Are you letting your students do the work, Pete? That was also an interesting story I would like to talk about, is that Hawthorne Cottagecraft, Peter is hiding behind it, and he's a professor in North Ireland. And due to the popularity of Simracing and one of his students, they came up with like a creative module. And they got students into Simracing. They bought like 2 or 3 Simrigs for the university and are creating custom liveries and are doing a whole university project around that. So you can be at a university and they're doing Simracing. And the students are doing the work, yeah. And I had an online lecture with them this week, and it was just brilliant. We had like, I think 20 people, so some professors and some students asking questions and me rambling on about streaming and sim racing and stuff, so that was really cool. Just goes to show you where sim racing is already going, so that's just brilliant. So where was I? Green part there. I need to just check to be able to align that. It was over an hour-long lecture, yeah. Helion, I shared a pic in member content with text under the wing. Yeah, the cool thing is that... hey, Thiago, thanks for joining in, mate. The cool thing is that actually some of the cars, like what we have on the ACCSS Aston Martin Den, like you put on the bottom of the wing, like there shall not be aliens or something like that.
Yeah, the alien shall not apply. I can't say any... I didn't make any of those.
Yeah.
Brendan Hobbs is one of the original ACCSS members, and he made all those. That was really cool.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that not every car template does allow that. I tried it with a few different ones, and unfortunately, it doesn't show up on every rear wing. Then it doesn't work for every car.
Oh, that's a shame, because they're really nice little features that you can have. I think in our Wednesday test race, it was someone even, I think it was one of our drivers even said, "Oh, there's a nice little message you've got there on like the formation of that on your your rear wing for it." I forgot it was there, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Aliens need not apply or shall not apply.
Yeah. I think on the next one we can just put your band.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just color half of this part in green. If the like music is too loud or anything is off in audio, feel free to just let me know. The Aston's wing is angled down so you can read a lot from the back, yeah. Oh, RPNT is asking if you're doing another test tomorrow before the race or if everything is settled.
No, everything's settled now. So we had a few issues with full course yellows for the Solo Endurance Cup. Well, the system worked really well. It's just like a bit like we've done a reverse grid test a few months ago, and what I noticed anyway is because we've not done it before, and we've had so many events, drivers aren't used to change. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
change is bad.
Because it's new, it freaks people out, and so we just decided that, and a few other things. It was like a couple of hours conversation actually after the test event on Wednesday, and we just decided that we were actually wasting a lot of time on this system that actually will probably only used 2 or 3 times in a whole series. So we just decided effectively to remove it, and we replaced it with Jonathan Shingle, actually, who's in the chat, came up with a really good idea to replace it with full course caution. So essentially, what happens at ACCS, we have like live driver stewarding, so it feels like more of obviously you race it, but it feels more like a real world sort of motorsport event, and you can hear the sort of race director / driver steward during the race, and they'll call a full course caution if there's, for example, Bathurst is round 3 in our endurance cup. If something was to happen that would require drivers to take more care, not to cause more incidents, then a full course caution would be called instead. Anyone that's causing an incident in that full course caution period will get a more severe penalty. So like I said, the full course yellow system will be introduced later on down the line, but it was just something we were adding something too soon, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's an interesting system.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the drivers commented that they liked it. The issue was that where it was new, it caught like 23 drivers off in the second full course caution test we done in the race.
Yeah.
And that caused 23 drive-through penalties, which are given by the system. So it was like, let's all have a go at the stewards. Actually, the system gave it to them, and because it was a test event, it was perfectly fine for it to happen. It happens. People make mistakes, so it was, yeah. But like I said,
it was really fun for me as I was commenting, and me and Lars were just sitting there and like, is there really a reason for the virtual safety car now? Or are they just testing? No, it looks like they're testing.
It was just testing. There was no reason for the actual full course yellows to come about. The perfect thing was I said, we need to do a test in. I said to Jonathan, actually, who was the driver steward for the race director, and he will be the race director for the endurance series as well.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to do these tests. We need to do 1 in 3 practice, and then obviously at least one in each of the races. He was like, okay, but I'm not telling you when it is. I'm like, to be fair, I prefer that, but also a little notice would be great, just to get that little edge. I did get caught out in the second one. I did hold my hand up as well. I was doing, as the full course yellow was called, I was going up Eau Rouge, and as it hit 1, at 5 I was at the bottom of the hill, and I was like, I can get to the top and slow down quick enough. I got to the top as it got to 1, slammed my brake on enough not to spin. But I was doing, I think when on the spreadsheet, I was doing about 167 kilometers an hour when you're meant to be doing 50. So
yeah, that's the thing. If it already starts checking when the counter hits 0, you have to slow down with like 3 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly. And that will come with experience with a lot of our drivers as well. But,
so we have a bunch of stuff going on in the chat in the meantime. Jonathan Shingle says I should remind you to upload the current rulebook.
Oh yeah, you should.
Jason doesn't have any clue what's going on. Jason, I'm designing a livery and having a chat, so if there's any questions around liveries, just go with it. Was the Photoshop clone was called Photopea, I think. It's like Photoshop, but instead of shop, just put in PEA, Photopea. Hey Nico, I have 64. Thanks for stopping by, mate. How are you doing? No, it's not a Joker Bentley. It will be... This is the inspiration. Evangelion Bentley. No, I disabled the yellow layer because it should go on sponsors. It was my mistake to have it on the decal layer because I wanted to be metallic. Actually, I want the green. No, the green should not be. Yeah, we keep it like that. So it was a mistake that the orange layer with the ape logo was showing up there. So, oh boy. It's gonna be tricky to align all of that. So one of the other cool things is actually, if you can notice that in the small window, is that I have 3 different Bentleys in one team. Did you know how to do that then?
Yeah, is it the same number, the same team name, isn't it? And it puts them all together?
Yeah, the rule is basically when you add a new custom car, you keep the team name absolutely the same and the car also the same. So in my case, Bentley 2018 I think. Yeah. And I called every Bentley B and TX. The number can vary actually, and also the like the what's it called, the Silver Pro Am League or whatever you put in, you can also change. But as long as you keep the team name the same, you can have the same car with different custom designs in just one team. And the cool thing is that the game gives you a custom JSON car file for all of these cars. So I didn't know that. That was actually a cool trick. I just did it by accident, and then I had to actually Google and find out what the hell was going on there.
What have I broken?
Yeah, well, why is there my Bentley, and why do I have 2 Bentleys? And then I just tried it, and that's cool. So I can have basically 3 different custom designs, and the way I did it previously, I always went to the Explorer and the custom JSON files and changed it. So that's a cool thing to know, actually.
Just as you're doing that, I'm doing the obviously, like I said before, I'm doing all the artwork for season 3 for ACCSS, and I've just added one that a track that no one's gonna like.
Awesome.
just added the artwork for a track that I'm gonna get a lot of stick for, but we've not raced it yet. So
people have to learn it.
Oh, 100%.
Photopea is an online base. That's cool. Yep. Awesome. Give it a try, Twiz. But we had a few other suggestions already that were pretty cool. Of course, Rob, you can do that, but then the Ferrari will not show up with the Astons in the same team. So it's always split up by car brand. So you can only have the same car in the same team. And if you do a different team, you can, of course, keep the same name, but it will not show up. So if I do now an Audi with B and TX and a Ferrari, they will have their own team, so it doesn't mix the cars. Paul Ricard, chat says Paul Ricard.
I can neither confirm or deny. But essentially, if drivers could probably work out what tracks we'll be doing next season, because we've got this thing where we're going through all the tracks we haven't used yet in a championship series, because we've used one of the other tracks before, and there'll be a couple of IGT tracks in there as well.
Yeah, you showed me the tracks for season 3. I'm not gonna tell them.
I did put in the announcement in.
Oh, you put them already in the announcement, so we can talk
no,
about that.
No, I've not announced it. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I did put in the announcement that as people were tuning in, I'm making the artwork. So, like, there may be some sport, or I may just say a few things as and when they come through. Got to build the hype. Got to get the viewers in.
Yeah.
Got to get the viewers in.
I'm really looking forward to season 3. I mean, it will be a short one because Christmas is coming up, of course. But I'm always looking forward to race on tracks that I've never raced before. And one of these tracks is actually one where I just unlocked the track medal, so I have no idea. But I think that's part of the fun, because then you have to practice and you have a new challenge and you have to learn.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's the thing is, at the end of the day, this track isn't actually that bad. I get why it gets its reputation of being not very good. And I fully understand that from our sort of driver's point of view, but there's worse tracks.
Yeah, there's always one that's worse, so...
Controversial topic. I don't actually know how good Imola's going to be. I'm very hyped for it to be here.
Me as well, yeah.
But, I mean, I remember watching it and not enjoying it that much, watching it on telly, so...
It's always different when you just drive it yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to hope for that actually it's not as... not as stale as I felt at the race was that I watched. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, it's actually the same with like Paul Ricard. I don't know why the track gets so much hate. The first race I did on there was like, I learned so much in that 1 hour, and actually I enjoyed the track. I mean, I love the long straight, because if you're doing an endurance race there, you can just take a drink.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got the stereotypical running joke of one of our drivers literally that any straight will just literally get his vape out and just start puffing on it.
Yeah, exactly. Just relax there. That's so cool. Because it's I mean, I've never really done more than like 2 hours of racing, and I always get issues with my left leg hurting because of my hard brake pedal. So I can't. I mean, driving on a racetrack where you can at least relax and really stretch your foot for like what feels like a minute is really cool.
It definitely. Oh yeah, it's, one of your viewers is just, or one of your people in the chat said they just shared something in member content on the Discord, and actually that will help both me and also help a lot of our members when they're coming to their livery designs, especially for the Ferraris. It's a very, very popular car.
Yeah.
At least it was in Pro Split last season. It was very popular in Pro Split last season.
So Pete sharing actually a numbered template is really cool then, because if it's okay, we can share it. He sent it to you actually, Dan.
He put it in the member content of Discord.
Awesome.
So yeah, so it can go on there if
Thank you very much, Pete.
Up there, so people can feel free to crack on and use that if they want to have a go at designing any Ferraris for next season.
So Jason is asking, what are the tracks included in Season 3, Dan?
So Paul Ricard's definitely in there. I'm not very subtle. But Paul Ricard is definitely in there.
Yeah.
And someone managed to... there we go. More cryptic clue. Someone managed to work it out earlier, and I managed to blag it off as something else. But I know I've seen that person's also in the chat, so they probably know exactly what track I'm on about. But another track has been announced subtly in one of our servers.
Okay. Which one is that?
There's 3 servers. Actually, it's not going to be Mazzano Silverstone. We raced them in Season 1. I would like Silverstone. I don't want to go anywhere near Mazzano anymore. SimGrid qualification has absolutely shafted me.
Jesus, yeah.
I love Silverstone, but that's in the Endurance Championship. So round 1 will be Kyalami next season in Season 3.
Oh, one of my favorite tracks.
So yeah, round 1 will be Kyalami. Round 2 is Paul Ricard. Round 3 is Brands Hatch. Now this was one that was up for conversation because we use it all the time for all our evaluation races.
Jeez, yeah.
So, but we haven't actually raced it in the Championship Series yet. So Brands Hatch is round 3, and then what actually will please a lot of our community members is there is no Spa event this year. It's going to be replaced by Suzuka for round 4. But we're also not going to be doing a 2.4-hour event because we have the Solo Endurance Cup now, which kind of replaces that 2.4-hour event. But instead, we're going to be doing every single split. We'll do a 1-hour double points race at Suzuka, and that will lead us into the Christmas period. So there's only 4 rounds for Season 3, because otherwise you'll all be racing, or some of you will be racing on the 26th of December. So that's when that clashed with. Or we'd have to rush it all out, and you'd have the evaluations finish on. They start on Monday, they finish next Saturday, and then we'd have to effectively get you signed up by potentially a week Monday for you to start Season 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were like, we'll give you an extra week to sign up, but then we'll only do 4 rounds in the championship. So
why no Mount Panorama?
Because I really enjoy that track, and we tried to keep away from the tracks that are in the Endurance Championship. I know the Endurance Championship's like 5 months long, because it's 1 race per month, but obviously the announcements are one after the other. So for some people in their mental processing, they'll be like, but they just announced all these tracks for another championship, even though they wouldn't have realised that if you're not in the Endurance Championship, you might not realise that it's 1 race a month. So what may feel like 5 rounds being announced for that, actually round 5 isn't till February next year, March next year even. So
yes.
But yeah, essentially we wanted to get through the rest of the base track, and then we wanted to add some of the IGT tracks because
Okay.
What's wrong with Mazzano? Someone asked. So I would have had Mazzano in there, but we were talking earlier about our SimGrid qualification for their endurance cup, and part of that qualification process was Mazzano. And whilst I was sitting there doing 137s, 136s on the odd lap, also going against another sort of YouTube personality with Jardier putting in 132s every lap and literally sitting on my arse while qualified in the qualifying zone. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do my 10 laps and I'm going to leave.
Yeah. That was so unfortunate. I mean, I have to say that I learned so much in the past 7 months, and I got faster and faster and increased my pace, and then you're just sitting there and somebody comes in and is like 2-3 seconds faster than you, and it can be frustrating.
I'll tell you, that is it. Yeah, that is it's the T, because frustrating is not the word, because even in the community that is the same thing. But even in friendship groups, I mean, obviously one of the members of the community who won season 1 silver split, Ash, we started pretty much sim racing at the same time, maybe a couple of weeks apart.
Yeah.
Project Cars 2, and I cannot even get anywhere near his pace on track. And I'm like, so that's literally, you sit there and practice and practice and practice. But the good thing is though, someone is always going to be quicker than you.
Of course.
Which, when you're the quickest, I'm not saying it's boring winning everything, but when you've got no one to beat, or no one to race with, I'd much rather be sat in the middle, fighting it out for some points every week.
And the thing is that, I mean, actually, our times, I was at a low 135 at Misano in the Aston Martin, and I've never driven the Aston Martin before. And my record is actually a 134.8 in the AMG GT3, and I was like really, really happy with my pace. I was like, wow, cool, this is going better than expected. And then boom, 131, shit.
Yeah. Or is it the top 100 qualifiers are in 133s? So you're just like, oh, just honestly, I'll come back another day.
Yeah. And that's what made it also basically impossible for us to really qualify. The times were just too good.
That's what I mean. Part of me felt bad if I would have been the only one not to have to have held us back. Then I would have felt really bad. When I'm looking at it, none of our averages would have even got us in there. I was like, oh, it's kind of better luck next time. We'll go away, practice a little bit. Like I said, enter the reserve drivers category.
Yes.
And just see what happens from there.
So making a little bit of progress there on the livery.
I was about to say, how are you getting on? I feel like we've just been rambling on for a little while.
Yeah, just actually, when I'm streaming and when I'm racing, I just love it to talk. I just love that so much. I just enjoyed it so much more than racing, actually. No, I really enjoy racing.
Everyone has different styles. We noticed talking the other day, some drivers, just can't stand. They have to race in silence.
Oh yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. It's a perfectly legitimate way of racing. Whereas others, including myself, I'll literally have to have a conversation.
I mean, when I'm really going for like a quick lap or something, I need to focus and shut up and also ignore the chat. But during a race, when it's like getting to a point where I can relax and settle in my pace, then I'm just chatting and enjoying it. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you noticed anyway while you were coaching me for Mazzano, how frustrated you were getting me just chatting away while trying to put in 135. Quite a chatterbox. I'm trying to. I just got Boonatix going, right, okay, Dan, we get that. Now shut up and drive.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. This will definitely be a cool stream.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed the actually gaining the time around Misano when you were doing that little bit of coaching for me around there. I really enjoyed that. That was good fun. So.
Yeah. So Jason just said the great thing about sim racing communities is not as toxic like other games and shooters, and that's absolutely true. I basically come from games like all the Blizzard Entertainment stuff, like World of Warcraft, Diablo, I played some shooters and stuff, and the level of toxicity is just too damn high, if you want to call it like the meme. And it's just, it was an eye-opening experience for me to hop into Simracing. I was like, why that? At the beginning it felt actually very strange. I felt like, why is every community here so friendly? So I was really not used to that, and so far I also really did not have any like experience where I say, okay, that was shit and the guy was rude. And it's so nice to see the people after a race get in touch with each other and saying like, hey, sorry I crashed into you, and hey, sorry I messed up my line, and that was really stupid of me, and let me apologize. And I was like, wow. And I just hope it keeps that way, because we have literally right now we have such a high influx of people into the niche of sim racing, and if it continues like that, it actually won't be a niche anymore.
No, it definitely won't be a niche at all.
So it's growing tremendously, and that's really awesome to see, actually.
And Chris has just put in there, hopefully next time at least we've got those 6 liveries for our teammate for Silver Surfers.
Yes.
Which we are using and abusing for the Endurance Cup, by the way.
I saw that, but you must have changed something, because your base car is not chrome silver, it's this strange grey.
See, the JSON that came over, did the JSON come over, or did it see when what you sent me over or on your Google Drive for the skin?
Yeah.
Hasn't got, it's got like, it's just the transparency, it's whatever colour, so I didn't actually know what one to pick. I just
Also, you did not have the base car, okay.
No, I didn't have the base car, so I just kind of guessed at what colour it was. If you message me what the colour code is, I'll fix it for tomorrow.
I can send it over to you, yeah, sure.
So I just guessed. I was like, this one looks right.
Yeah, I did it just a chrome silver, you know.
Yeah.
So this there won't be much progress on this livery today, because it's a really tricky one, actually. And people might have noticed that I'm using different tools. Like this one is actually a really cool one. It's the Curvature Pen Tool, and you can draw curves with it and afterwards just pull them in the shape and curve you want. And that's a really cool tool, and that's actually how you make like curves and bends and shapes like that. So let's see if that looks roundabout right now. I forgot one more thing. Should go down here. So how many starters do we have tomorrow in the endurance race?
50. We filled the whole. So we've done a different process.
Wow.
For the endurance cup is I get like a lot of our community. I fully understand. We looked at a lot of feedback actually, and a lot of feedback was based on drivers not turning up for events. So for the endurance cup, we're trying some new rules in which we're in the 5 rounds. So it's 1 a month. We're allowing you to have 1 race off. If you can't make it for whatever reason, you're allowed to check out. As long as you do check out, because we've got a new little event creation bot in there that we're trialing for the Endurance Cup drivers. As long as you do check out, you're allowed to have 1 checkout for the whole season. If you don't turn up, like you no-show for any case whatsoever, as in you're meant to be there and you don't turn up, you get disqualified instantly. Because we've got a load of we've got like 15 or 16 reserve drivers as well for the championship. So we've got drivers there that want to get in and can also commit the time. They may have just been the sign-ups actually were full within about 3 hours of us launching it. So from that we got a lot of sort of reserve drivers through that. So we've got there's 1 person that's checked out for the event tomorrow. So we have 49 cars on the grid. There'll be a full 30 car field of GT3s and then I think 19 GT4s.
Awesome. So I just see right now, because of the huge starter number sticker on the hood, it looks really stupid. So it's actually one of those cars where we could use the carbon-based livery. So let me just change the file for that.
See, what does the carbon base do? Here we go. There's a designer-based question, because we're stereotypically following the procedure of other communities. Because if it's not broke, don't try and fix it type thing. They've got systems that work, and in their systems they mention that they can't use carbon cars, but I never knew why.
That's interesting, because what it actually does is you go into the car JSON file where all the data is, and you take the skin template key, which is mostly set to 1 from in-game, to 99, and what it then does, it gives you a completely, basically dark gray carbon car, and it gets rid of the number plate on the hood.
Yep.
And the downside is then you cannot color your rims, as far as I know. Okay. So that's why, and of course the other downside is that people in multiplayer who do not have the custom livery then just see like a carbon car. So that's why I usually go with like a base design in a color that fits my car, and then just layer the custom livery over it, so that people in multiplayer who do not have my livery see at least like a colorful car.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
But right now I'm just here gonna do the same with the Bentley, because it actually, it looks much better now at the hood. And for example, here on the rear you can see it on the rear bumper where I forgot to color it in. That's just the carbon base livery.
Yeah.
Makes the whole car look carbon, which is kind of cool, but in multiplayer it looks really irritating. So now at least on the hood we got rid of the number plates.
Perfect.
And the black rims go really well with the car. And I'm just wondering, what the hell are they using for brakes? Alcon. What is Alcon? I just basically know Brembo. Why are they not using Brembo? Oh boy, okay. So as you can see, it is a tricky livery, because you need so many shapes and cuts and curves. And I just noticed that should have actually been cut like this here. Off we go again. Or let's do that at a later point, and let's do something else that's fancy. But we already see the difference, that the reason why I did the sticker and the orange strip in a separate layer is because I either want to go with metallic or with glossy layer. And with all the, basically with all the patterns or other stuff that I want to do, you can then have a really unique looking car that shimmers. So what do we do next? There is more green going onto the rear panel there.
I'm going to get told off later for revealing the tracks for Season 3, because we said we weren't going to do it till after the evaluation, so more people would evaluate, even if they knew that Paul Ricard was in the circuit calendar.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear anything.
There you go. The people that are watching the chat found out something earlier. Don't know spoilers. It's not being released till the Kyle Army stream next week.
Ah, yeah. Psh.
Well, after Kyle Army, if we haven't worked out if there's going to be a Kyle Army stream or not yet.
Yeah, okay. Are you planning to do more live streams with the splits in Season 3?
Yeah, so part of the process we had that you and Lars were together on Wednesday was Lars was practicing the broadcast. It's the first time he's done any broadcasting. And from what I can see, and when I've watched some of the parts of the VODs, they actually look really, really good. And that was what I was worried about a little bit, was the quality. And actually they translated over really, really well. And it's very just to see Lars just get on with it, if that makes sense, and actually be like he's being sarcastically, or I say sarcastic, messaging me saying he can be very professional, showing me the professional side of it. And the broadcasting actually went really, really well.
Yeah.
So he'll sort of, what we're looking to do is there'll be split managers essentially for next season. So there'll be I'll be managing one split. So for using examples, I'll be managing the pro split. Leonard will be managing, for example, the silver split, and someone else will be managing the AM split. And essentially, that means that as the three of us, we can drive one day in one of the splits and race. We can stream or like race direct, like for Leonard, who's the steward, who's our like, sort of head steward for ACCSS. He'll steward one day, and then the other day we can have off. Because the problem is at the moment, like if we stay on Friday to Sunday, every weekend since ACCSS has started back in July, we haven't had a weekend off.
Yeah.
So with this sort of with having split managers, the split manager will be a driver from another split, so that they can steward or stream, whichever. So either Lars will basically pick up one of the splits, I'll do one of the other splits, and potentially Gareth. At least that gives us then 2 streams, which is doubling what we did have last season. And maybe even Gareth will pick up the 3rd split, depending on what sort of his plans are next season. But having more broadcasters on board with more of the assets is always a bonus at the end of the day. So,
Mr. Metzi says, Paul Ricard, I'm out.
that was the plan. No, we're not going to qualify next to each other. I have signed up for season 3 evaluation race Monday. Not loving the calendar. It is what it is. So the race distances. So this season, every single split from AM to Pro are going to have 30-minute races, and there'll be 2 30-minute sprint races across all the splits. And then the Suzuka race, every single split will have a 1-hour double points race for round 4, essentially. So hopefully that will entice drivers to stay till the end, because that's like we're covering that base, because that was the issue we had with sort of seasons 1 and 2. Essentially, is drivers were leaving round after Spa, essentially.
Yeah.
Or not. Us prioritising. We shouldn't be something that's prioritised over life, but they were prioritising us higher up their list for round 1 and 2 and 3. And then sort of 3, 4 and 5, they were like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. But hopefully this season, the format, obviously going into the Christmas period, and in nicely possible, most of Europe, if not most of the world, are back in lockdown again. So you haven't really got much else to do. Unless like me, where you're a teacher or a teaching assistant, you're still at work. But it just gives something to do. And a lot of the feedback was for longer races. The bronze drivers last season had an accidental longer race. They had accidental pits, so and they really enjoyed it. So now AM Silver and Pro will all have pits.
Okay.
They'll all have 30-minute races.
I'm also signed up for the evaluation race on Monday, actually.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm just hoping that I will be a bit more lucky than the last time where I was crashed out twice. And I was just so glad that you wrote to me saying, hey, what was up? Because you were so good in the previous season 1 splits and what happened now, and that you kind of checked back with me if it's okay to get me into silver split, because I would have not been happy in amateur split with my girlfriend dominating everything.
So instead, you've gone for the same evaluation race on Monday. I did see that. I did look at the sign-ups earlier and saw that you were both both signed up for the same.
Exactly.
Same event. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. I mean, like I said, we had the discussion earlier. I think it was today. I think we had the discussion with people saying about their practicing for Brands Hatch. I'm like, don't practice. Just turn up.
I practiced.
Yeah, it's fair. I'd say that, and so have I.
I just wanna get away from the pack and not get crashed out.
So I practiced with our resident can head Norberg earlier, and he's 2.5 seconds a lap quicker than me.
What lap time can you pull off?
See, I was on. That server dumps the results. Let me have a look on my computer while we chat. Let me see if I can find where it's dumped the results to. And I can tell you. So the course results. What's the day today? Oh, it's not in there. I think it was. No, that's 127, I think, and Norbo, yeah, 126.5, 127, and Norbo was in the 124s, and I was like, oh, great.
Holy crap, okay. I just managed to 125.3 after like an hour of practice, and that's the thing with me, because when I need to pull off a really fast lap, I just can't do it, it takes time. I just need to do a few laps until I can get into a good rhythm, you know? So I'm like always surprised by people who are really good hot lappers, and that's just something I can't do.
Yeah, I can't hot lap. I cannot hot lap for Toffee, which is.
But the interesting thing is with most, well, let's just not count in the alien hot lappers, but for example in the SRXP league where I'm racing, it's some of the hot lappers who are really fast over one lap start to struggle over race distance. Not all of them, but many hot lappers can be really quick over one lap, but they can't for sure not do that over a race pace, and some of them are even struggling during a race to keep up a really smooth race pace.
Yeah, well, like I said, prime example of a hot lapper that comes to mind is Ash, and he cannot drive a race he cannot drive a race.
Yeah.
He's literally like, he's so, yeah, even he'll know, and he'll hold his hands up and say he can't. It's very, yeah, if he actually manages to finish a race, he's very optimistic that he will finish a race when going into it. But yeah, like, it's just much rather literally sit there and qualify pole and just hope he survives till the end.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, that's actually the thing, right?
But then again, he set me a target for. We've entered the AOR 6 hours of Brands Hatch, which is all. It's all GT4 cars though.
Yeah.
And he is, set me, him and the other teammate we've got for that event have set me a challenge of getting to a 132 in the Aston Martin GT4, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a go. And I'm at 134.6 I think at the moment, so a little bit of tidying up to do, and I should be able to get there.
Yeah. Brands Hatch is just one of the tracks where I don't know how to say, you can mess it up really easily because it's so bumpy, and for example into T1, if you're just on like not the perfect position, you have so many bumps while braking, and then you just lose the car, and then you just can't dive into T1, so it's really an amazing track. Somebody just said in stream now, I actually gave myself away. Now just somebody said in chat, the Boonatix versus Serenity evaluation race has to be streamed.
If you look in media team, Lars just asked me when he could stream next, and I was like, it might be interesting teaming up with Gareth for Monday night, because it's Boonatix versus Mrs. Boonatix. I know it's not Mrs. Boonatix, but you know what I mean. You get the point still.
it technically is, but but yeah, shit, I have to do the stream myself then. Because I was planning to like take Monday off and just have a relaxing evaluation race, but now it's like, it sounds like a huge, you know, when you announce a boxing fight, like it's gonna be Serenity versus Boonatix.
The winner cooks dinner on Tuesday night.
The winner takes it all.
The loser cooks dinner, sorry, on Tuesday.
So I might actually really have to stream that, and then I need to check what you guys are doing, because that might be a really cool stream actually.
Because I'm in that race as well, so we'll have to see. It'll be Lars and Gareth if they do it.
Lars and Gareth, okay, yeah.
Well, I could always race another one. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Who is quicker? Come on then.
Hey, Madam Mims also joined in, cool. Madam Mims were also pretty fast.
So who is going to win in an evaluation between you and Serenity then?
I don't want to say it out loud right now, because she was 2/10 quicker in practice than me. She did a 125.1, but you never know with us and with her. It can always be like she can be really fast and dominate it all, or she just gets punted out and then leaves the race because she's pissed off.
There's not much. She had a test from from Ian, didn't she, in AM last season? But she's not really been tested yet, so it'd be good to see where she'd fit in with yourself and the other drivers that are.
Yeah. I think honestly, I'm really looking forward to having her in Silver Split and me staying there, because Pro Split is just too much to handle at the moment.
It can get very stressful in Pro Split.
Just colored the wrong part, shit. Just colored the wrong part, yeah.
Worst part about it, I literally, Steve used to make all the posters, like all the announcement posters. And the thing I find most difficult is putting the right information on, like what information needs to go on a poster, what information doesn't really matter. So literally make it the season 3 announcement one.
I thought so, because the templates are completely different now.
Yeah.
Looks like the way Steve did it and stuff. I thought like, something has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve used to make them all, and now he is like literally that is literally his job, is advertising. So
oh, okay.
He has all the experience in making it all, advertising, web design, all of that sort of stuff is his background. So he has a lot more experience than I do as a hobby. So
Madame Mimsman said he tried the Jaguar, which I'm signed up with today. 126 is also not bad in the Jaguar. But he thinks it's not very good at showing his normal pace. Well, when I started with the Bentley on Brands Hatch, I was doing 130. And I thought like, Jesus, the car feels strange. And then it just takes some time to adapt to it. I always take so long to adapt to a car and to a new track. And now I'm in the 125, so I bet if I change car again to something completely different, I will struggle again. Jason is asking, how do you go about evaluating the races?
So you need to go on to, how do we go about actually evaluating them? We have Leonard and Jonathan do a lot of the work behind the scenes. They do a lot of the work sort of behind the scenes, and basically we put the new drivers up against all the data we have for all the old drivers. Yeah. And we just see where they would fit. Essentially.
I'm gonna just do a showroom view for Jason. Is it? I hope it's big enough. It's far from finished, but that's where we are right now. And Benny Bishi is asking, was the Silver Split the cleanest split in the end, or which one was it?
I don't know. I think it was between the AM and the Silvers, but I'm not too sure the exact numbers. We tend to do like an end of season. Well, after next Sunday when the season officially ends after the Kailami like special event. We tend to give out all the statistics in like their raw forms, or the Google Sheets forms, and all of them tend just to get mass released to the community so they can go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So
awesome, because that was really crazy to see in the beginning actually how clean and smooth the amateurs were starting at the first laps, and I was like, wow, that looks so perfect. And then you jump to Pro Split and they're just like going completely balls.
Yeah, remember that Zolder one though? I gave up the stream to the other guys so I could help them with their driver stewarding, because they only had 2 quite inexperienced stewards at the time available. That was and I was like, I'm regretting this straight away.
But you know what's interesting is actually also most of when you watch the pro esports streams, it's just like it seems to be a pattern with the really fast and good drivers, is that they just can't let go. They have to push it to the limit no matter what, and they don't want to give anyone an inch, even if it means that they probably might crash. And that's I always like, I don't know if you know Niels Naujoks, who does the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
And when I watch his streams, he's like a typical German guy. He's such a nice and cool guy, and he can help you so much. But when he's in his race mode, it's just I just can't watch that, because it's not fun. And he just keeps on, complaining and making comments about other drivers, and I'm like, Jesus, is every pro driver in such a mood? Because it's just not fun to watch, even though he's just a brilliant driver,
Well, I don't want to cut you off, but I've just received a text that I have to go for an emergency.
Oh no.
So I will have to reconvene with you on Wednesday evening, which is out of the blue because this was booked out in my diary. But I just had a text that I cannot get out of.
Okay,
So
no problem, mate.
I really feel sorry, but thank you for all the Boonatix community for asking questions in the chat. Good luck for the rest of the car. Can't wait to see when it's finished. And then, like I said, on Wednesday, we're doing a live stream on ACCSS where you're going to teach me how to set up a car and also shout at me for driving the Bentley wrong.
Yes, of course. I hope it's nothing serious, Dan. Thank you so much for your time. And
thank you very much.
Talk soon.
Stefan, and I'll see you later on. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dan. Bye-bye. See ya. Okay, so I really hope it's nothing serious. Really sorry that he had to leave. But yeah, awesome. I just love the guys. Dan is an absolutely great guy. They are doing a brilliant job with ACCSS, and the direction that it's going is just amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the collaboration and doing more with the guys and helping them out even more and doing, you know, collaborative streams and stuff like that. So now with all the talking out of the way, I maybe can concentrate a bit on delivery. Madame Mims, I watched your Hungaroring stream and you got punted in both races. Yes, that's a hard lesson I learned when I was beginning to race in multiplayer leagues. I got punted and crashed a lot, also because of like me not being, you know, on the ideal line and not behaving correctly. But I was getting to a point where I thought to myself, if I'm not turning this around, I can quit right now. And that's when I actually recognized it's not about me winning or getting points or whatever. It's just making the best out of it and giving something to the community, which is to learn something, to talk about what happened. And everyone who watches is basically just here to have a good time. So let's keep it positive. It's not a real race. I don't have to pay for the damages. So thank you very much, Madame Mims. The video afterwards, yeah. The pro drivers drive for money, yeah, I guess you've got a point there, Anthony. I know. It's just sometimes when I see the way they react, for example, really not giving an inch, and in some cases it results then in a really unfortunate crash that could have been prevented if just one of the guys just lifted the throttle for a tiny bit and just thought ahead of the consequences of their actions. And then they are pissed off because they crashed, and I thought, yeah, dude, because you weren't even giving an inch. So that's just the thing. But you're totally right saying that, you know, they do that as a job, they do that for money. Yeah, their mindset is completely different. Maybe I can make some progress now. Honestly, I have to say that today I was so close to canceling the stream because I spent the whole afternoon with, I don't know how to call it, explosive headaches. I've never had such bad headache in the past 10 years. I think I was really struggling, but unfortunately kind of went away. I still am a bit blah. I feel like yeah, somebody stepped on me, but it's okay. So I just wanted to try how it looks when we utilize maybe some fancy patterns, and one of the ideas I actually had is utilize something like that on the rear of the car, if that actually looks cool or stupid and is not a good idea at all. So I'm just thinking if I want to do this or the green, but let's just pull it in, because my idea was actually to put this on the rear and to make it look like it's a pattern, you know. And the tricky part now with the color overlay, oh, I guess we can cheat around that actually. If there's anything you want to see or want to know about custom liveries, just jump in. Oh, Jonathan, you were stewarding during the T2 esports event. Some of them are real dicks. I guess you can put it that way, yes. I tried to get into the T2, and I thought like BMW and Monza, everybody has to kind of get into that and learn that. And when I saw the first times being like 48s, 49s, I thought like, cool, I can actually make this happen. And then I was practicing and got into 47s, and then suddenly I checked the ranking again and the times were like 46. And everyone was 46, 46, 46, low 47, and I was just basically a 47.9, 48, and I thought like, okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I don't have time for that. So I'm just getting the... this is just a test right now, so don't judge me. I want to look how it actually pans out when I use the same color. And for that I have to like move it. Yeah. This will look stupid because it goes across several different other layers. So it's just with the orange and the ape logo. So this is going into the glossy sponsors layer. And we're just doing a quick test. Anthony, you were racing with Jensen Button, cool. They want and they need to perform, right? Yeah, it gets tense during the race. Yeah, I also saw a very old clip of Niels racing with Amir, the guy he's actually helping now to get cooler gear, and they were going down Monza Straight this close together, like really this close. And Neil was close with him, and you could see that Amir was struggling with the connection and having like lags, and his car was behaving a bit strange. And except of just, you know, lifting off the throttle and keeping a bit of distance to be safe, Niels just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it resulted in what? Punting and crashing. And I thought to myself, that's just in this moment, it was just a bad decision. But it's, yeah, as you said, it's their mindset. 46.3 was around the fastest, yeah. Some of the drive was horrible. Jason, how do I get the wireframes on my paint program? Did you download the wireframe package from my... Is there even a link to the wireframe package in the description? Because if not, I need to provide it to you guys. So this is what it would look like in glossy. I don't think that's enough. I think we should use a brighter purple. But that's what's making the flare actually, it looks actually really cool. I'm not even sure, because what I want to do right now is I want to split this up into the green part and into the purple part. And sorry, I don't know if you can see that now, but I think we need to do it a tiny bit brighter. Just go with this. Do you actually hear anything from the music, or is the music just too low anyway? Jason, what paint program also do you use? Because the templates are all in Photoshop. If it doesn't work for you, you can maybe let me know which car you want, and I can give you the wireframes as JPEG or as PNG. You can just feel free. Are you on my Discord? You can also jump on my Discord and just ask me there. So we now change the purple color, and oh, it's better, but still. But I kind of already like the position where the Evangelion is in. I think I might just move it, maybe make it a bit smaller. Let's just go for a really bright purple. But what we could also do is just make the base purple a tiny bit darker, because it looks to be a bit bright, but it also depends on like the angle here. It is kind of I just want it to be too bright actually. The thing is now that this layer is also just glossy. I could use it as a metallic, then it shimmers differently, but just have to check. Yeah, now it's a bit more clearer, see? Music volume is good, awesome. Yes, Jason, just jump on my Discord and let me know what you need and I'll be happy to get it to you. So, and now the idea that I had, it's a bit tricky. Let's see if I can make that happen. Because right now what I need to do is duplicate this. No. Let's try the other way actually. So this is really tricky right now. This might be the complicated way, but let's do it like this. This is actually easier. And we go on this layer and then we copy, paste. Oh, he puts it. Oh my god. Puts it down there. Shit. Why are you doing this? Stupid Photoshop. So I guess this is it, right? Yeah. Okay. And now watch that. And now let's hope it works out the way I want it to work out. High five. Does it look cool or does it look cool? It looks cool, right? That's a really cool idea for a pattern actually. I'm just not sure if I want to keep it glossy or metallic. Do you want to see it in metallic? Then I can change it. Oh, thank you very much, Pete, for sharing. Oh, Jonathan, vielen Dank. Steuerung linke mal auf das Thumbnail der grünen Ebene. So this is the green one, right? Oh yeah, and then it selects everything, okay. And CTRL-J is duplicating, cool. Thanks, Ray. Okay, see, I still have stuff to learn with Photoshop. Haha. But right now... I want to just see how it looks like if we do the sponsors metallic. So I have all the the JSON's actually prepared for chrome, glossy, matte, metallic, satin, satin metallic. And I just can copy it here. And then I just rename the old sponsors. So like sponsors glossy. So then the game is not taking this into the consideration. And then rename metallic to sponsors. Then we just have to get out of here. And load it in again. And now you can see the metallic shimmer. I mean, what do you think, chat? Metallic gives this all a pretty cool reflective shimmer and makes it stand out a bit more. I mean, that's not important, we can change it at any time actually. And I think I'm going to leave the position of the Evangelion there. Now the other thing that we have right now is actually that the arm is going onto the door. So we are cutting that off. And one thing is before I do this, I always duplicate before I cut anything off. I duplicate it and just store it somewhere, you know. Let's just keep it there, so I have the same shape and size that I need. Or you get reflections disturbing the view. Okay, because you sit a bit differently in the Porsche probably, because in the Bentley I don't really see, the way I sit in it, I don't really see much actually. So, and then what I'm gonna do is just turn down the opacity a bit, that I can see that here. And I'm gonna just cut along the pinky line. Then we just take it off. And now it's the next magic trick, because we need to find the door first, it's there. And we need to kinda play with the positioning right now. And the thing is that always the angle looks different from the cut. So I think from the bend, small, big, 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 small, big, big, big. My guess is the arm should be somewhere around here. That's basically just my guess, and I need to rotate it a little bit. At least that's what I think. Let's just put it there this way and see what happens. Because that's the cool thing. We can always check directly in the game and reposition what we need. Oh, angle looks fine. We're just a bit too much on top. So let's just see what that does. Should be fine. I will call that nearly perfect. It's a bit tricky because of the way this is bent, and I probably should have cut off more. So that's another lesson learned there. because what we could do, let's use the copy effer and just cut off more. No, let's just do it like this. Because what the problem here is right now, because I cut it off exactly, but the wireframes are always like the pink line and the other line are then being bent, and that's what actually the like few pixels there are missing because of the different angle. So I'm just aligning that with this one again. So let's just check how this one looks. Oh shit, something moved there. That is not good. That was the mistake, okay. So I'm basically starting from scratch here because of this mistake. At the bottom, so this is just a tricky, the most time-consuming part actually. Hand is giving us a hard time. Yeah, finally. But still we can see that the interesting thing is the top part is aligned but the other part is not. So we need to pull it more in. interested in my monitor, basically I have two different ones, and my cat is interested in the stream. Say hello to the stream. Hello stream. I have two different monitors. So like my home office monitor is a 27-inch from Acer, and I actually had two of those. But for sim racing purposes, I have the AOC 31.5-inch. That is, I think, linked in my description below, and I have a swing arm attached. It's called an Ergotron, and I can swing it to my sim rig, which is basically right next to me there on the wall. So that's how my setup looks like, because I'm working home office, surfing, and like now Photoshop and video cutting and everything, and this is basically just my living room. And it's like a slightly curved monitor, and I enjoy it really much, and I think it's a good base actually for a triple monitor setup, because the curve is just slight curve, and the quality of the monitor for the price, I think I just paid basically 300 bucks or something. It's really amazing monitor. Louise the black cat. You also have a black cat, Danny. Hey Florian, hi, how are you doing? Let's see if that looks a bit better now. Now it's again way too much. It's just everything. This is starting to piss me off a little bit. And yeah, just because this is like my home office gaming and sim racing live streaming setup that's constantly changing. So right now I had to put the camera here and the mic there, and I need to for tomorrow and Monday put it over there again. So nearly there. Yes. Oh, only took 10 minutes. Awesome. And we have the other green thingy there. But that's on the decals, right? That's not sponsors. Cool, so we have this one actually settled, and now what we need to do is clean it up, because it's overlapping a lot of different layers actually. So get rid of this here. This works. This one here works actually really good. I just need to realign this one a bit differently, I think. Okay, let's just cut out this part here. Boy, that picture is huge. So I'm thinking, because the graphic actually ended here. have an idea. We just move this part. Just trick a little bit so that it looks like it's actually from the texture, but it's not. Yes. And then what I can do is just use this line there and maybe just copy one of those and just, you know, get it drawn across there so that it kind of like gives a bit of a pattern or something or looks different. So with this out of the way, let's save the decals again. Okay, looks like I did not correct the green one. I knew it. And that's what actually is the most time-consuming part. The detail work, when you're splitting up stuff like that across several different sections of a livery. Because you can actually design a livery pretty fast, pretty straightforward, but it's then the detail work. Yeah, now it looks cool. And then the next step is of course to kind of draw something like that onto the rear bumper there and make it look like a graphic, but cool. I really like how the idea actually turned out to not make it look exactly like this with like some strange patterns and stuff and all. I will still give it a try how I can change or incorporate some of the logos, but I don't want to take too much from that and just incorporate, you know, the official logos like AK Informatica and 505 Games and stuff like that. So the one on the hood looks already right with the details there. Florian, did you enjoy the rain in the practice tonight? How are you guys doing in the SRXP practice actually? I think I was at one... Was it a 132? I'm actually a little bit scared of the race on Tuesday. Because there's so much that can go wrong in the rain. So the number plate here is approximately starting there. Yeah, the cool thing is you can also trick with the number plates and, for example, set a background. I mean, of course it then takes even more time to align it, but you can like really place a background here, a square or something that's going around the number to give it a different touch. I'm actually thinking to using the Evangelion texture to take parts of it as patterns. Let's see if this idea pans out. Example, like the mouth, something like that. But that would just make it a tiny bit too complicated to layer it then across everything again. But it would just be for the green part here. Just part of the mouth. Like this, for example. So like just take this. Hey, Marcel is here. That's an Evangelion. Yes, that's actually the template. The inspiration. I'm not gonna copy paste it. Mad Panda, this show is still going, but I'm not sure for long. Oh, Pete is now going into the Lexus. Pete, you're scaring me. You're also getting faster and faster. Everybody is improving so quickly. That's just great to see. It's just giving me a tougher challenge. So, I want to just keep the green stuff. So, the green, that's the green color, right? Yeah. So I'm just coloring that right now. And then It's always a good idea to get rid of the parts that are not on any wireframe part to save save space. Max is in the house. You've seen the reference before, yes, it's from the Super GT. I really love it. They kind of overdid it with their sponsors and stuff. But I love the colors. I think the colors suit the Bentley really, really well. I really need to not drive the Jag on Monday. The Jag, I just used it once at Solder and it's like... it's a crazy car. It's a really crazy car. Oh cool, Man Panda. I'm happy to hear. That's awesome. Thank you very much for letting me know. That was really cool to actually make the video because I really like Kyalami. And I'm already thinking about which one to make next. There are not so many tracks that I feel comfortable at the moment, but I'm pretty sure we can find one or two more. Oh, Jesus. So I think that's a bit too... Is it? No, it's actually okay. And then we need to cut this part. And again, we will face the same issue if I cut too much. So I'm gonna just take the opportunity and cut it from here. And that is not needed anyway. So now that we got that copied, we can actually get rid of all of that here. Marcello, how is it going with the stream intro? It's Japan, they use tons of sponsors probably. What, Madame Mims, you mean the Jag sounds like from a racing game or what? So now comes the tricky part, because where the hell do we position that? We need to take the notch in front, I think, because the connection is, it goes really until the it's, yeah, okay. So I need to find out which line was which again. This one, right? So this is actually cool. Do you see this line is actually here? So that's really cool. But again, the angle is completely off. Do you see that? So I'm absolutely not sure how this is gonna work out. We now have to do this through trial and error. Almost done with drawing, need to animate it on Monday. I'm really looking forward to that, it's gonna be cool. The check sounds awful. Does it handle that crazy like it did on Zolder? Because when I gave it a try on Zolder, it was so nervous and so nervous and oversteering. It was just crazy. People who do this as a job all day are mad, yeah. 4K UV map and put it on the entire car. You mean on the car in the game then, or what? Whoa, that actually looks pretty decent already. If we take this line here, we just pull it up a bit more. Yeah, you mean we can actually take this on the car. If I would put that on the car, it would make it even easier, but I don't know, it just makes everything look ugly. Because it's this small line here under that. I think we are on a good track. You know, yeah. Nearly there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just that I like to align that stuff. But it doesn't have to be perfect anyway, because you don't see that in game anyway. But see, we're actually, yeah, nearly there, so that's really good already. A little bit nudging it more into the right direction. Yeah, the checkerboard style graphics. I will definitely give it a try with the next one. Thanks for the suggestion. It understeers like crazy going into corners, and you need TC up to 5 to not make it power steer. Yeah, exactly. I was just... I mean, it was kind of really fun the first 5 minutes on Zolder, but when I saw how the other people were doing with their laptops, I was like, I don't think the Jack is the car for me. Marcello, the design expert. Be electric. I think that's good enough, because this is not lining up perfectly. The angle is kind of strange of that, but I think that's just, you know, we don't want to overdo it. That's completely fine. And I kind of like to always utilize pre-made textures and graphics, because it's just, it makes it so much easier to put patterns on the car. But you know, if you just want to draw them by hand, it just drives you crazy. And of course I want this only to be there. So what I need to do here is Yeah, so all of the effort just for this tiny bit. What did I press now? Revert? What? No? No? What? File? Revert? What? Brilliant. Clean. Nice. I think I'm gonna keep on using the pattern for the green parts, and for the purple parts we need to maybe do some alternations. Can you share your drafts? Well, what do you mean, Marcello? Like this one or what? What drafts? Oh, you mean a whole Photoshop template? There are the sponsors. Placed very badly. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Miro.com. That looks interesting. Boom is confused. Yes, I was like, what? Where's my ape logo? There's the ape logo. Which GT4 car is the best? I think it probably, unfortunately, is the Aston Martin. The Aston is used very often, so I think it's one of the better cars and one of the easier cars to handle and be quick in it. But I also see that BMW actually has, I think, a lot of potential. And to be fair, the Mercedes also feels really good as a GT4 car. So that would be probably my top 3 picks, and that's why I'm driving the Camaro. The Camaro is kind of the underdog. Some of these royalty-free playlists are really smooth. Better. I just noticed that if you use the carbon-based card, it does not put your starting number on the rear of the car. Which is actually really cool. I'm really happy with how that turned out actually, that looks really cool. I might just need to continue this upwards there and make it look fancy. These ones actually. Okay, we need to put it all for the evergreen so that I'm not getting too much confused. And my simple idea now actually is to just be really nasty. Just do this. Oh, I colored it over the green area. Stupido. Okay, I think that's the last part that I did now. That's going to be enough for tonight. A little bit of progress, but that's a very tricky livery. I think I'm definitely going to take on racing when I'm done with it. Probably I can finish it in time for ACCSS Season 3. Nice, that looks really cool. And I'm going to continue to use this pattern all across, and right in time music stops, so that's a sign. Yeah, overall a little bit of progress and a very chilly stream, guys. Let's see if the chat switch is also working when I'm sitting like that. Ka-ching. Ooh, yes, position is right. Ooh. I might just move a bit back to not shock you with my face. Yeah, that's it for tonight, I guess. Working on livery is always fun for me. Always a challenge, always fun. So many ideas and so many different liveries I would actually love to give a try, but I just don't have the time to do them all. So we just do them step by step. Yes, we had for the first nearly 1.5 hour Dan Terry, but he had an emergency coming up. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I hope everything is okay. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. The link is in my Discord events. I will be commentating the solo endurance race number 1 from ACCSS with the guys together. So I'm just gonna remind tomorrow in my Discord and on all channels. I would really much look forward if I see any one of you there tomorrow to check out the awesome endurance race. They're doing a solo endurance race where they put in GT3s, GT4s, and from both the categories, also the pro, silver and amateur split. So we will have a bunch of different driver levels racing on the first solo endurance, which is over 2 hours race alone without any team or anything. So that's definitely gonna be some interesting action tomorrow to check out. And yeah, the amount of effort needed to get the great results, actually, that might be even a live stream workshop you could share with your students, Peter, to show them how tedious it is. Although it's fun, it's just really tedious to get that done. But yeah, I'm just gonna take some screenshots of that actually, because it looks really cool. And share that in my Discord. And yes, on Monday we have the evaluation race coming up together with me and my girlfriend in the same evaluation race. And I actually did not plan to stream that, but as it looks right now I have to, because now everybody knows about it. So there's that. I just wanted to have a day off streaming, but I think it might be cool to see that it will definitely be some action. You're welcome, Ray Birch. See you tomorrow in the endurance event. Oh, I've never laughed at custom liveries. Don't be like, no worries. I really love, everybody gets creative in his own way, so that's what I just enjoy looking at. So there's everybody has to start somewhere. So yeah, have a good night, everyone. Take care, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. I had a blast. Chat was amazing tonight. So I hope I see every one of you again. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the sub notification bell to get notifications about my upcoming videos and live streams, and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Boonatix out. Bye bye. See you soon.